Hey guys, uh, welcome back to Marriages Restored in Faith.
His name is Ray. My name is Dora. Hey guys, thank you for joining us. It is July 7th, 2025, Monday afternoon, and I want to thank y'all for joining us. There is our other information there on the screen, our other platforms that you can subscribe, you can join, you can also share our content as well. There is our email there if you would like to get a hold of us. That is the only way to do so. And thank you again for joining us.
Well, it's because I was thinking of my other YouTube that I use for engine building, and I had to pause and think before I actually, yes, So-
Nope, that's not what you
that's another one. So, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. And as you see in the title, Texas Flooding and Weather Manipulation, Part 2. The other one is just Texas Flooding. I just thought I'd add the Weather Manipulation Part 2 because we're going to be discussing that as well. We have about almost 20 things to share with you. We're going to go through these as quick as we possibly can. We are going to cover everything today because I don't want to do a number 3. This is going to be the one that we're going to complete this one. So just bear with us if it is a little bit longer than usual. Continue to keep the families that have been affected in these storms. And now we're looking at North Carolina being affected. I saw a post talking about Hawaii being on fire right now. So keep all these people in prayer. Things are just going to change. They're
Yes.
going to accelerate. Just keep in mind that 2030 agenda. Hey, it's a plan.
Yes, and it's around the corner.
It's around the corner, and that is their plan. And they have to push. They have to push and accelerate this. Accelerate their plan faster now in order to be completed by 2030. I know it's hard for people to believe that people can be that evil. I get it. I truly get it. And in fact, I'm going to be telling you about some of these people that comment. I'm going to go on my Facebook here in a second, and I'm going to name names because just how ugly these people are on social media as well. I'm not going to start busting them out. I have no problem with that. If you want to be ugly on social media and you want to be hard-headed and ignorant, that you don't want to believe what people are telling you and showing you to your face,
Right.
and still saying, oh no, this is not real, this can't be happening.
Well, just facts.
Just facts.
Knowing that someone is giving you a fact, someone is sending you a, an article for you to read. Someone is, giving you that information, but yet you don't want to
Is that a local
listen
number?
to it.
It is a local number.
Yes.
If you can let me have it right quick. Yeah, I just apologize for that because I am on call at work right now. So it is, hopefully it's not work, but it possibly could be work. So let me get that right quick. But let me go ahead and get you started on a video then. So we'll get straight to it. If you can get me. If you can give me number 9. Like I said, we can go through a lot of videos for you.
Right back up. Earl, come on, back up. Wow. Look like. Get over here, too. And that's the craft already 4 foot. Yep. Okay, let's go back. Juanita. Wow. Juanita, move back. Connor, come on back. Yeah. What? Connor, come back further. Next time we close the road down for a reason.
That was just 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And do you see how fast that happened within 2 minutes? And you see how fast that water is moving? See, what people don't understand is water is extremely powerful when it's moving. It is. And there's nothing you can do about it. But then just 2 minutes on how fast it moves, you see it coming and you can hear it coming.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize that this is the time that you need to take action. And we're going to show you actually a video of a gentleman talking about that he was there on scene at the campgrounds and he kept checking. And all of a sudden the water was already inside because this is how fast things happen. And I'm going to show you some articles because I'm going to go ahead and show you an article that people think that this is not for real, that it's not, I'm not talking about that the water is not for real, but the actual cloud seeding, the actual weather manipulation is not for real. So let me go ahead and show you that first right off the bat before we start showing you some more videos. If you can give me number 20. Let me give me number 20. And I was showing these things to people. And for instance, Shelby and Juana, she's one of them that kept this is her comment. She said, "You're an absolute embarrassment for all that have endured in Texas this weekend. Just be quiet." And that's because I put weather manipulation and cloud seeding. So I go ahead and show her. I said, how so? I was there. I said, I was there in the areas where it was flooding in San Angelo. And as you see this article that I'm actually sharing right now, that they're telling you that they do cloud seeding.
Mm-hmm.
That they do, and look what it says, South Texas Weather Modification Association. It tells you right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's titled what they do. So I shared that with her, and she said, I was there. She said, wake up, you've been deceived. She said, you are lost. I said, how's that possible? So I'm sharing articles with her, and this is all she's doing is commenting how she's commenting being angry. Even though you show her all this information, and I explained to her, I said, it's sad. People can show you the truth, and you will still deny it. People can warn you about a cliff so you don't fall, and you will yell at them and still keep walking. This is what people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're warning them of what's happening around the world. You're telling them, look, this is weather manipulation. This is ongoing. Why? Because there's a 2030 agenda, and people will get upset at you for warning them.
Mm-hmm.
They will. and then of course there's plenty more. There's other people that got on there. There was this person, Janet Dunlap Buhitter. She said nothing to do with Barry coming in and low pressure system. This is where the deception comes in for these people, that they believe anything that the news tells them. They're still believing what the news tells them. And the news is coming up with different ideas and different things to say in order to get people's direction and attention away from weather manipulation. Again, this is a South Texas Weather Modification Association. This is a company that is being paid to make it rain, being paid to modify the weather. And yet people still don't believe it.
Yes, and I mean, there's countless people being interviewed that work for these places, and and you're like, why did I not see this before? Well, because a lot of the news, so-called news, is being taken off to where they don't want you to know what's actually happening. So you do have to make your research. You do have to go in there and look. But as things are progressing, they don't care anymore, because they've already given out their agenda that people are not going to believe.
Oh yeah.
So to them, they don't care anymore whether someone is saying the truth, so it's like, oh, just let them talk whatever they want to say, because people aren't going to believe them anyways. Because they've already conditioned people to believe their narrative, not the truth.
Yeah. So as you see right here, 26 years. The association first formed back in 1996. This is probably the youngest, earliest one, because this has been going on back in the 60s. This has been going on in Vietnam War that they have been doing this. Look at this, 26 years, 10 counties, 2.5 million acre feet. This is what they're telling you that they're doing. This is just in Texas. There's more than one in Texas. This is just one of many in Texas. So just think about that. But let me get out of here, because I could keep going on these comments, but I'm going to shorten that up. So I wanted to share this one with you first. We'll come back to this here in a second. We have another one to show you. But let me go ahead and show you, if you can give me number 14. And we're going to go through these videos as quick as we can. We got a longer video. We actually have, we're going to show you a video from the governor. And of course, you have the feds there. I really want you to listen to what is being said, because they knew about it. They literally knew this was coming. And I'm going to show you that video. Go ahead.
There's people in it. There's so many people in it. There's people in it. There's so many people in it. Please tell me getting this video. Yeah, Kent's over.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You saw the very first cabin. You saw people inside that cabin. And that's what makes it sad, because it starts off slow. And as it gradually keeps going, the more water, the more speed, the more weight, it's going to tear that cabin apart into pieces. Yeah, I mean, it's scary because it's dark. You can't see where anything is. And I know some of these people felt helpless because they couldn't help other people.
Right.
Let me play, if you can give me number 23, I want you to listen to what she says, what she tells you. I think I'll listen to this part and see if it is the actual, see how much is being said on here. We may play a little bit longer. and this one's with Governor Abbott, and you'll see everyone that's there.
Will be coming, and we also have had assets here on the ground since the beginning of this crisis started, since this weather event did start, and even before it came, we were alerted. We did have Coast Guard assets here that were helping to rescue people. We're thankful for the airframe that showed up and those coasties that were here walking alongside our DPS and the emergency.
Rewind it. Listen. She said we were alerted before it even happened, before it came. How so? How are you going to know that?
Indicated that he will honor that and that he will accept that. So that response and that relief will be coming. And we also have had assets here on the ground since the beginning of this crisis started, since this weather event did start. And even before it came, we were alerted. We did have Coast Guard assets here that were helping to rescue people. We're thankful for the airframe that.
Before it came, they were alerted. How are you going to know? How are you going to know? It's just a simple question. How are you going to know? How are you going to be alerted before it came? It's a legitimate question that we should be asking. How did you know before it came? Let's keep going. If you can give me number 25. And this is actually our doorbell ring camera from one of the locations. And you're going to see it. And I believe we do have, is that the news one? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
There's people screaming in the river. We're evacuating everybody.
Oh my God.
Can you knock on your neighbor's door and tell them to get out now? Car's completely over.
Oh my God.
The people you're screaming are in the river right now.
Oh my God.
Let's get everybody out.
This is sad. Them being alerted right now to that there's people screaming in the river. We need everybody out. We need to evacuate. Let me show you this other video. If you can give me number 22. This one's a little bit longer, and this is a gentleman that explains to you what happened. He kept going outside checking because he was making sure that it wasn't going to get flooded where they're at. And you're going to see how fast things happen. And then we're going to go to an article so I can show you again another article about weather manipulation.
Joining us now, Christian Brown. He and his family were in a cabin near the Guadalupe River as the flooding started fast and furious. They barely managed to escape. Christian, you and I were texting briefly earlier. I know you've got a lot going on. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. First of all, I just want to check, are you and your family safe now? Was anyone hurt physically? And how are you all doing?
Thank you. We're all good. We were able to get out safely. We were able to manage through the flood without any problems, at least physically. But we were able to evacuate as well. We're back home at our home in Houston right now.
So I want to ask you, did you get any kind of warning before the water started rising? Were all of you asleep? How did this all start?
We were asleep. I did get a flash flood warning on my phone, but to be honest, I kind of ignored it because we're about 30, 35 feet above the river at that point. And in the history of the cabin that we've been staying there, it's been in my family for about 75 years. The water has never gotten above about 6 or 8 feet higher than the river. And again, so thinking that we're about 30 feet above, we were safe. And I knew that a flash flood was serious for, other people, but people closer to the river, kind of in the same elevation. But like I said, because we were so much higher, I assumed that we were safe. I
mean, 75 years, if you've been safe so far, I probably would have thought the same thing. Can you talk to me about who was with you in the cabin, your family members, and how you managed to escape? I hear it was a pretty harrowing situation. Have you ever experienced anything like this before?
This is a first for me. My wife and I were in one bedroom, and our two daughters were in another bedroom. As we kind of laid in bed listening to the thunder and lightning, I would go out and I'd look at the river and I'd check the dock and I'd make sure we've got a concrete dock that's at the river level. And as long as I could still, between lightning flashes, if I could see the dock, I knew that the river wasn't rising and we were safe. And so a couple times during the night, I'd check it and I'd still see the dock. So I thought we were safe, and I convinced my wife that we were safe. And then we were laying in bed probably around 3:30 a.m. and we heard a different kind of noise. It was a sloshing kind of crunching noise. And it was, again, something that we'd never heard before. So we jumped up, we turned on the lights, and I could see from the wooden door and the back door, water was streaming through the slats about 2 to 3 feet off the ground level. And then I turned to look at a kitchen window, floor to ceiling window, and I could see water about 3 feet above the ground, just solid water. And then a big lightning flash hit, and we could see out the window just nothing but water. Where the river used to be is just a giant ocean. So from there, we ran, we grabbed our kids. Thankfully, we had in one of the rooms is a bunk bed. So we were able to climb up on top of the bunk bed. And again, water was coming in from all the doors and windows. And eventually one of the doors gave way, giant rush of flood came in. All the furniture, all the tables and chairs, everything's crashing, breaking, windows are crashing. Power went out. And so we just kind of stayed on top of that bunk bed for what seemed like 30 minutes or an hour while we watched the water kind of rise up. And it got to about 4 feet, where I was standing on the bottom bunk, and it was up, mid-thigh level for me. And we're kind of, we were next to a front door as well. And so I opened the door to see where the water was inside and out. And the current outside was so fast that we decided that, it's probably safer to stay inside, and hope that the water doesn't continue to rise, and try and brave it and go outside and try and climb onto the roof or something.
So you're literally all standing on this bunk bed trying to stay out of the water. What are you saying to each other? What are you saying to your kids? Were they audibly, I'm sure they were nervous. Were they expressing that to you? Can you just kind of tell us what that moment was like?
Well, yeah, I mean, we were all terrified. My kids were shaking. My wife and I were trying to keep it together, trying to keep everybody calm. At one point we started singing Amazing Grace, to try and keep everyone's energy level down and stay positive.
All right. So you did. It sounds like everybody got out safely, which is, I'm so happy for you guys that you're okay. How did you manage to get out? Did the water recede enough that you felt like it was safe to go out? And then when you were out on the street, I've been talking to some of your neighbors who said it was quite a scene once you got out there with other people who'd been hit by these floods. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah. So we were, like I said, there's about 4+ feet of water in the house, and we were watching, we could see outside. And as soon as the water level outside started lowering, we'd open the door and let the water flow from inside out, and then the water level would rise. And so we'd close the door again, and then wait for it to go back down. And so once the water started flowing out enough, we opened the door, let all the water rush out. And then we saw some flashlights and heard voices. So my older daughter got on my back and my younger daughter got on my wife's back. And we just kind of walked out to the street, not really knowing what to do or where to go, because we didn't have anything at that point other than what was in our pockets.
That's incredible. We're seeing here as you're speaking, we're playing some of
So as you see, it happened really, really fast for them. He kept checking, and at 3 in the morning. So something to think about. If you've been noticing on things that are happening right now, the flood, 3, 4 in the morning, why so? When everybody's in bed, when everybody's asleep.
Off guard.
Hey, that's just another thought. Something to think about. Can you give me number 21? And let me show you this other article. And this is, again, weather modifications. And I wish people will really get it, even though I know it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that people can be that evil, and that there can be an agenda out there like the 2030 agenda, to where it says that you will own nothing and be happy. And if we can scroll up on that to the bottom, or not to the bottom, but to, and it tells you right here. In fact, here's just some other things that it says for that. That's on here. How does cloud seeding work? And it gives you all these steps, and it keeps giving you different ones. That's just number one. If we can go through each one just to get the title of it. And you can see how they do this and how it's conducted. You see number two, forest cloud seeding being done in Texas. And there you go. It was begun in 1971. And yet people still don't believe it. How successful is cloud seeding? Over 50 years of research, and we can keep going. What role does the state of Texas assume in weather modifications? Since 1967, enacted in 1967. Let me go back to that one, number 4. What impact does cloud seeding have on hail? Is there a large amount of silver iodine? And there you go. What about the downwind effects of seeding and so on? And if you see number 4, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation is a state agency responsible for administering the Texas Weather Modification Act, enacted in 1967 by the Texas legislature. Look at that. It's right in people's face that this is done. It's legislation. It's done. And yet people don't believe that this is what's happening. People, we are under weather warfare. It's no longer about making it rain in a certain area.
Right.
Because if it was so, they would make it rain where there's fires so they can shut off the fires.
That's right.
They would make it rain for farmers so they can produce more food. If that's what it really was for, they would make it rain for the better judgment for people, for people's health, for people's, so they can people can eat.
Yes.
To turn off fires so there'll be no more fires. If that's what it really was for, but it's not.
Yeah, if the intentions were to make it better for people, then that's right. You know, your crops would be doing better. There wouldn't be no drought. There wouldn't be no, the capability is there, but it's not being used for the good of what we need right now. It's not being used for that.
Look what it's being used. Just look around you right now. Insurance costs is going to go up. A lot of these people don't even have flood insurance. Why? Because there has never been a flood in those areas where they were at.
Right.
And now they can't rebuild. So what happens when they can't rebuild? Then you have to go to a smart city. Does that sound familiar? Smart cities. So let's go through all these videos as quick as we can. We can go to number 16. Again, I wish people would really wake up and see what is going on. But again, you can show it to people right in their face, and they're going to say nope, and they're going to yell at you. They're probably going to cuss you out, call you names, and say nope. I'll be on my way to my deathbed before I even agree that this is really happening. Let me show you this one.
I don't know how many was in that RV. I know there was a family of 4, or a family of 4 children and a mother and dad and their dog that lived in one of them. Of course, there was 24 of them here, and every one of them got lost. Inside that RV, and that RV's floating away, and kids are screaming, and you can't do nothing for them. Then you got the river authorities. I know what they do, and it's their job. You cannot tell me it's not their job to oversee this river and monitor this river, because that's what they do. Well, where was the notification for all these families that needed to get out of here? Because it had to be rising up that way first.
Give me number 15. Again, yes, there's a lot of people being frustrated because of this. But again, it goes all the way to the top. There's a larger agenda going on. And I know it is hard to believe that there's a larger agenda. But just go back. The 2030 is not a prediction, but a plan.
Yes.
You see, this is a rescue, and apparently, if I'm correct, this is that lady, the girl that was hanging onto a tree, and I believe it was 10 or 20 miles that she had traveled
Yes.
in the water, and then she was able to hold onto this tree, and they were able to rescue her. Again, all these people are going to need prayer, counseling. So if we can get me number 12. And I know some people are saying, well, how can I prepare for flooding? Because it's easy to prepare for stocking up on food, right? Because if there was a shortage of food or something like that, that'd be easier than a flood, because a flood takes everything away. Play that one again. You see, it just told you it's from 18 to 20 feet from that deck down to the river. So it goes to show you that has to be at least 18 to 20 feet of water depth. You see how it's just taking that car with it. It'd easily take people down that path. Honestly, there is no way to prepare for something like this. There isn't, because you don't know when it's coming. That's why it catches so many people by surprise. The number one thing you can do is be right with Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Because you don't know when you're going to be leaving this earth. We don't know that. But we do have to prepare mentally and physically for what's coming, on how things are going to be changing. The 2030 agenda, it's an agenda, it's a plan, it's not a prediction. They're planning this. How can they get everybody in smart cities? How can they get everybody to own nothing and be happy? And you may say, how could I possibly be happy by not owning anything? What does usually happen to people when they lose everything? As long as they're still alive, they're okay with it, right? Which it is, because it's just materialism.
Right. It's just
material. It's just stuff. Let me keep going. If you can get me, we can go down the line, and we can go from 3 through 8, and we can just keep showing each one of those. We can just go down through and I just want to show you some footage, some videos, so you can see and keep these families in prayer. I'm telling you, it's a whole agenda out there, and what is happening.
This is at the low water crossing. Who knows if the bridge is still there?
Another thing to think about, how could it possibly rain that much? How could it possibly rain that much to cause that much destruction, to have that much water? How? See, there's places that don't even have water, and yet they're not using it for good to make water, right? Again, that we like to visit Kerrville. A lot of people, it's a popular place to go to Kerrville. Go back and do some research, and you're going to find out what deals the city did for the 2030 agenda. Smart cities, go back and look at it. If you look at every location where there's a disaster going on, go back and do some research to find out what the city has done, what deals they have done.
That I'm going to share. I have some heartbreaking news that I'm going to share. I've spoken to this man standing on this foundation over here. He is actually the brother of the person who owned this home. What he's informed me of is that his brother's house is actually missing. His 2 children are missing. He has no idea where his brother is, and he doesn't have any idea where his brother's wife is. So his brother's home, including his brother's wife and his 2 children, are now missing on the situation. He's in shock. That's what he was able to share with me. But I do have confirmation that a home was here. Now it's not here. And this man is sort of left to see what actually progresses of the situation with a missing family member and an entire family. An entire family is currently missing right now. I'm sure there's more cases of this around the city, but just thinking of that, a family gone, nobody knows where they're at. There's been a natural disaster in the area, and it's an absolute tragedy. But that's what I've been able to learn in the last 5 minutes or so after talking with him. That's all he was really willing to share with me at the moment. But like I said, this neighborhood is sort of reeling in shock, not too sure of what has just happened to them. If you put yourself in their shoes, you're living your life, you're living a happy life. Okay, you hear there's some rain going on. There might be some flooding. Okay, the next thing you know, your home's gone, your home's moved down the way. It's all very hard for the human mind to comprehend that level of destruction that happens so fast. I'm going to, stick around here, see if I can talk to the police a little more, see if.
Again, sad situations for a lot of people right now. You can probably skip number 7, I believe, and you can go to 8 and then 11. 8 and 11. The best thing you can do right now is hug your loved ones, pray for each other, get right with the Lord. Let me share these other videos with you.
Look at this. There's a boat.
Good morning.
Look at this. There's a boat on Main Street.
Bell
Look at that. Bell Street. I'm sorry. Look at that. Damn boat. This is crazy. This is this is a Casa Ocampo right there. As you can see right there. And look at this, man. There was a boat on there a minute ago. There's another boat right there.
Yeah,
they just put another one in.
Yeah, they're doing the water rescue.
Oh my
Look how
God.
fast the water's moving.
Oh, man, I'm praying for all these guys. This is not us laughing. That's other people behind us. We are not laughing. This is so sad. I feel so sorry for these people. That's where that house is in the middle of the street. But anyways, I'm sending prayers to everybody over there. God bless them.
And this was in San Angelo. This is where we were at for the 4th of July. And we got to see actually this, and we did share videos with you guys on the first one. We'll share this other one, number 11. And then give me number 18. And number 8.
Oh my God, oh my God.
No, go ahead.
Oh no. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh no. Oh Oh my God. What the? Oh no.
Get out! Get out of your
Get
car!
out. Oh my God.
Some people do panic and they don't know what they should be doing.
Right.
Some of them, well, your windows may not roll down, and it might be very difficult to open that door.
Yes, with the water being up onto the doorway there.
So this next video, this is where me and actually Joe were standing and recording this. And then, of course, we were going to do another recording, but my phone don't do very well, so so we left it at that. But again, now you're seeing, if you can give me number 24, and this is in North Carolina. North Carolina right now is having a massive flooding. If you haven't been watching it, it's on there. It's all over the news. And I know they're saying, well, it was a hurricane. People, this is all weather modifications. They have patents for hurricanes. They have patents for tornadoes. They have patents for weather. Yes. Look it up. So there's actually more videos of this. There's actually houses underneath the water right now. So guys, why do we show you this? We show you this that we have to prepare for these times that we're living in right now. It's weather warfare. It's smart cities. Their plan is smart cities. Their plan is you will own nothing and be happy. How else are they going to do that? Or is everyone going to say, you know what? I'll give up everything that I own. I'll give up all my houses. I'll give whatever my house I. I'll give them my vehicles. I'll give everything up and let you have it. No. They have to take it away. So guys, keep the people in prayer. The ones that have been affected. The families that have lost loved ones. Because I guarantee you, out of any of those, they will tell you they'll lose all their belongings before they lose their loved one. They will. Let me show you one last video. If you can give me number 26. And we'll leave you with this last video because I don't want to leave you in a down way, so I'm going to leave you with this video.
Oh no! Oh no! Holy shit! Lay down, baby. Lay down. Holy
Gregory Goldman, middle linebacker, Texas A&M.
We'll play one more time, but without the volume. But if you just think about it, I mean, that had to hurt bad. But good thing he had someone else with him there to make sure that he was okay. And good thing he was wearing a helmet.
Yes.
If he was not wearing a helmet, it would have been awful for him. Mm-hmm. And good thing it was dirt and grass and not concrete.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even though that was a pretty hard fall, but the grass and the dirt really kind of cushioned him a little bit.
My thing is, I want to go see what the deer looks like. Did it survive? Is it messed up? What was the deal? I want to go see what. I'm sure they went to go check afterwards to see.
Probably.
If it was still there.
Let's go see.
We got some deer meat.
Something. He went motorcycle hunting.
Yeah. So guys, keep those families in prayer. Pay attention to your surroundings and make Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior.
Yes, that is the only true guarantee we have.
Victory.
Yes, victory. That is it.
Yep.
That is it.
So guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you on Wednesday.